Pinocchio, A True Story was released in 2021. This is directed by Vasily Ravensky, written by various people. I will leave the information in the description, and we have an English voice cast, including Jordan Worsley and Pauly Shore as Pinocchio and various others. And there are two ways of looking at this. If you're a fan of Pinocchio and you're looking for a version of the story, will you enjoy it? And also, if you're not that bothered about Pinocchio or you're not familiar with the character, will you enjoy this? And I do think the response to those two scenarios are very different. But there is one thing that did not work for me at all. The narrative, very simply, is Pinocchio running away with a horse and joining a circus. Needless to say, if you're familiar with the story of Pinocchio, that's not the case. I recently read the book, so I can confirm that that doesn't happen in the book. Maybe if I'd watched this without reading the book, maybe I could have assumed that those elements were from the book and they're just not commonly adapted for film. But no, that doesn't happen in the actual story. So it's definitely very creative. And if you're an existing Pinocchio fan looking for a true, as the title would suggest, a true version of the story, I think you might be disappointed. If you're brand new to Pinocchio, though, while I wouldn't suggest that this is a good place to start, I think you'll find it to be absolutely fine because the narrative does work well enough. It is quite bizarre in places, but good fun, and we meet some really interesting characters. And similarly, if you're looking for a new adventure with Pinocchio, you might think it's okay. However, as I said, there is one thing that does not work well for me at all, and that is the age of the character. This is a little strange. It is the first time that I've seen Pinocchio as a much older teenager. Usually he's a little boy, and he's very clearly not a little boy. He is much, much older, very close to adulthood, and I don't think it works well at all. Nothing against the voice acting, that's absolutely fine, but I don't think the age of the character feels like Pinocchio, so that meant it was very difficult to buy into this as a story of Pinocchio. Now, maybe that could work well because it isn't really the story of Pinocchio, so it does offer something that's very, very different. And I feel like some people might enjoy that aspect. For me, not so much. However, the animation for this is absolutely gorgeous. It is so stunning to look at. The colour palette is amazing. There's a great attention to detail. And I don't hate the design of Pinocchio either. While the voice is definitely about a decade older than it should be, I don't dislike the actual appearance of the character, the way the character has been designed, the way he behaves, no problems there. So I'm kind of torn. I feel like if you're looking for a true version of Pinocchio, this isn't the film for you. But if you're a fan of Pinocchio and you're looking for a story with a difference, give it a go, but also the Pinocchio doesn't really feel like Pinocchio because of the age. And then, of course, we have people who have never seen Pinocchio. I wouldn't recommend this as an introduction, but also I feel like if you're in that category, you're best placed to enjoy it because there are no expectations for the character or the story. So I really don't know where I feel like the recommendation should go. I guess I can just say, if you're curious, check it out, come to your own conclusion. I didn't love it, but there are definitely elements that are done well, and honestly, I really don't know how I feel.